Hey guys, so this is going to be a short video just covering a few questions I had regarding the H100i version 2. There's two things that I'm going to go over, and that is the gap in between the backplate and the motherboard, and where to plug in the fan cables for the pump. So starting off, the gap in between the motherboard and the backplate. Now I'm going to try to explain this the best as I can. So pretty much the problem is that after you've screwed in the mounting screws to the backplate, there's a slight wobble. This is because some of the boards have different thicknesses, and it needs to be loose so it doesn't damage your motherboard when tightening the screws onto the backplate. Now when you go to put on your water block, the gap will go away because when tightening the water block, it pulls the backplate tight with the motherboard. This also keeps you from over tightening, which helps prevent damage to your CPU. Now regarding which fan header you should use. Now before this, I used the CPU optional fan header, and whenever I booted up on my Asus Strix motherboard, I would get a CPU fan error, and it's never actually shown any disadvantages. So what I want to do is try and figure out how I can get rid of this error. So first off, I'm going to try using the CPU fan header and see if there's a difference. So when I plug it into the connector and try and boot up, I no longer see an error. It just boots up with no problem. But when I go into the Corsair Link software, the fan doesn't show up under the H100i section, but instead it located itself as a new fan, which isn't a problem at all. But in my case, my motherboard only has 2 case fan headers, but 3 are showing up, so the third one will be the CPU fan. But as I looked at, the CPU fan is taking power away from other case fans, which is why I am getting such a low fan speed on one, which is happening because the pump is taking away so much power from that fan. So there's another solution I'm going to test, and I didn't even think about this when I was installing the cooler. And I don't know what was going through my head, but there's actually an AIO header on my motherboard. So I went ahead and plugged that into the header, and everything booted up fine, except I still got that error. So I thought about it for a while, and I was thinking, and I thought the solution might be that since there's no fan plugged into the CPU fan header, the computer thinks there's something wrong. So what I'm going to do is plug one of the fans mounted on the radiator onto the CPU fan header. And after I did that, there was no error at boot up. All fans ran at what they were supposed to. So altogether, what I did was I plugged the main power from the CPU block onto the AIO header, and then plugged one of my fans into the CPU fan header. And now everything is working exactly how it's supposed to. I hope this video cleared up a few things. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and comment any questions you might have, and I'll see you guys in the next video.